Alright guys, what's going on? It's Kage. First off, Happy New Year and welcome to today's video, where today I'm going to be going over my salamangreat deck profile for you guys. So, new year, new start to the channel. I'm going to try to revive it. I'm going to try to split it between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard. I'm still in the Vanguard. I'm probably going to be pivoting it more toward the premium side of Vanguard now, as V is just, in my opinion, unfixable. And I'm not exactly happy with the current state of standard, but that's for a whole different video. I'm not really going to go into it here. And I've been having the most fun with premium, and the way I view it is I put out videos of stuff that, like, if I was on YouTube and I was looking for stuff like this, that I would enjoy. But yes, today I want to go over my salamangreat deck. So, as a lot of people know, this is not... I'm much more of a combo aggro player. I'm not known to, like, tempo or control style decks. But I figured, new year, try out a new deck, and I've been testing salads for a little bit now, and I've really been enjoying this deck. I did play a little bit of it in 2019 when it first came out, but never really had my interest up until recently. But yeah, let us get into the profile. So, starting off, I am playing 3 copies of Salamangreat of Fire. This is one of your more expensive cards in the deck. I will be giving budget alternatives if you want to build this. But Salamangreat of Fire is your Stratos of the deck. This lets you search out a Salamangreat monster, and you're locked into fire, which isn't a problem because most of our deck is fire. If we use this, we only lock ourselves out of 2 cards in the extra deck, which one of them I even question why. And then it has another effect where if your Cyber's monster battles, you can destroy it by banishing this, which you might be wondering why, but it's for one of the cards we'll get to later, Raging Phoenix, and what you can do with it. So, last time I checked, this is like a $12 to $15 card. If you cannot afford this, you can play Lady Debug, because it does get you another Salad monster, and it's a lot cheaper. It's like 60 something cents for the rare, I think, the last time I looked. It's not as good as Fire, but it was what was originally used, and yeah, if you can't afford Fire, then pick it up. It will do the same thing. Next up, I am playing 3 copies of Gazelle. My boy was freed on the September ban list, and some people at my locals and my friend groups that I'm in, we were kind of talking about Gazelle, and we all agreed it could come back to 3. There's no reason. Like, I don't understand why it was at 1 for so long, especially once it was power creeped out. Like, the deck is a little too fair now compared to the decks running around currently. But Gazelle is a free special summon. You can, when a Salamangreat is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it from hand, and then you can dump a card. So this is nice to be able to chain block your Bale Links. So you would do like Bale Links Chain Link 1, Gazelle Chain Link 2, so you can get your Sanctuary. And most times the cards you're going to be dumping off of this is 3 copies of Salamangreat Spinny. So Spinny is another card. This is another 3 of, one of the main 3 ofs we play. And then this card is a free special summon from grave if you have a Salamangreat monster aside from itself. And then you can send it to the grave. You can discard it to give something 500. So basically you can use its first effect, target something, then bring it back. And this plus Gazelle is a free Mirage Stalio. Then I am running 2 copies of Foxy. So I've seen a lot of lists play this at like different ratios. I've seen some played at 3, some played at 2, some played at 1. I like it at 2 because if I open it, I do have a chance to get something I need. So the effect is you're able to reveal the top 3 cards of the deck and add a salamangreat card from among them to hand. So it's basically an area 0, which is the main reason why I run it. Then for our last 3 salamangreat monsters, I'm running 1 Jack Jaguar, 1 Falco, and 1 Weasel. This is a special summon. You can send a linked monster back. This is a special summon by bouncing a card, and then Weasel, if you have 2 Salamangreats in grave, you can get it back, and then you can put one of your, and then when a monster is sent from field to grave, while this is in grave, you can put a monster on your opponent's board. Then moving into the hand traps of the deck. This is the most hand traps I think I've ever run. I am running 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Crow, and 3 Imperm. Because you have a lot of room for non-engine, so I'm taking advantage of that. You can switch the Crows out with Veilers if you want to. The main reason why I chose Crow is because I want some graveyard interaction, which the deck doesn't really have. Moving on to the spells, I'm running 3 copies of Salamangreat Circle. This is basically a Rhoda. This lets us get let's get access to more salad cards and also can protect them from effects. 3 copies of Mining. This is basically just for a discard, any copy of our Salamangreats. So we're basically running like 9 copies of each. 2 copies of Will of the Salamangreat. This is basically just a Soul Charge, which is awesome. Sanctuary allows us to Reincarnation Link Summon. 3 copies of Crossout Designator. So I already had this from Sword Soul a while back. If you don't have this, you can run more hand traps, or you could run a Called by the Grave and then something like 2 other forms of interruption if you want to. But I really like Crossout because I feel like the format we're in currently, a lot of hand traps are seen in every deck, like Ash, Nib, Droll, which I do have Droll in my side deck, so I feel like you can keep this. And if your opponent tries to nib you, you can send a nib from your deck to prevent it. And then last but not least, the 1 Rage and the 1 Roar. Alright, that is it for the main deck. Now moving on to the extra deck. I am, of course, running 3 copies of Bale Links. This is what kind of gets our combos going and lets us get access to our Sanctuary. 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf. This is a really good link too. When something is special summoned to a zone it points to, you can get a salad back to hand, and also when it's reincarnation link summoned, which basically just means it uses itself as a material, you can get a spell or trap back to hand. A copy of Splash Mage just for the special summon. And then I'm running the Chimera FTK. So for that, I'm running Proxy F Magician, Pit Knight early, and Violet Chimera. So the idea is you summon early, use Proxy F Magician to special summon Chimera to the zone that early points to. Target one of your opponent's special summon or effect monsters. This is Chain Link 1, this is Chain Link 2. This will make it go to 0. Chimera's attack will get doubled, and then during damage calc, it doubles again, which will FTK the opponent. 1 copy of Heat Leo. I'm probably going to cut this when the the Flame, the new card comes out, I think is in Phantom Nightmare. That Link 3 fire monster, like the Bringer of Flame or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name right now. Copy of Heat Soul for the draw. And then probably the most expensive card in the extra deck, 2 copies of Raging Phoenix. So what this card does is when it's Reincarnation Link summoned, you can get a card from a salamangreat card from deck to hand, which is normally going to be your copy of Will. And I don't think I explained I run 2 Will just in case the one gets called by. Or, you know, sometimes I just like to make in case something were to happen to it. And then when a monster is destroyed, you can special summon this from the grave to be, and then against the attack of that monster. So this basically can, you know, kind of loop itself, but it is a hard once per turn. If you can't afford this, because last time I checked this was $20 a copy. If you can't afford these, you can run Pyro Phoenix, or you could run like Hita the Fire Charmer and like maybe another copy of Heat Leo, and then the 1 copy of Mirage Dalio. And yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I've been enjoying this deck. It's a very consistent deck to play. And also, you know, it's from probably my second favorite Yu-Gi-Oh series, being Vrains. My favorite of all time is 5Ds, but I think everyone can agree 5Ds was like one of the best. That GX is another one I have to say I loved. But yeah, aside from those 5 cards, this deck is also super budget. Like, you can pick up this whole deck for $30, minus the 3 Wills and the 2 Raging Phoenix. But yeah, until the next video, I will catch you guys later. See ya.